like I listen to the song. It's I like when people are like articulate with their words, meaning like they pronounce their words. You know what I'm saying? And like I can hear what you're saying. Like I can comprehend what you're saying. Like I don't gotta put the captions on or whatever to see what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? Like I have to do that for certain rappers, bro. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you
Niggas is
if I
trash.
put on Kodak Black, I have to do that. Otherwise, I have no idea what he's saying unless he curses or you know what I'm saying? So I could understand where some like, you know, older folk or people who ain't in part of the culture and they hear some of our music and they're like, oh, these people, they're just cursing and they ain't even saying nothing because the only thing, you know, what's the word audible that they hear are like the curse words.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Because
So
it's all
it's
movie.
like, right, you know, so like and I can't hold them because like I myself have to do that for certain rappers. And this kid Trev Banks, first time I put his song on, I'm like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like at least I could follow along with what you're saying and what you're trying to do out here. You know what I mean? So I do hope that he comes along. If not, you know, it's all good in the hood. Not everybody's built for this, right? So I did take your advice, Angie and I. We watched Squid Game. You watched Squid Game? What happened with that? Y'all watch Squid Game out there? Hit that like, hit that share. Let's go.
How you feel about that?
Squid Game.
Yep. Go ahead. Don't cap either.
It was I hated the ending.
Because it's confusing.
It's a little bit of a letdown, a little confusing. Like how many people, how many versions of this dude exists? You know what I'm saying? Like what's happening? You know what I'm saying? But it was an ill concept, man. It was really an ill concept. And I like stuff like that kind of teases the brain. We're talking about Squid Game. Hit that like, hit that share. I finally finished it with Angie, and shout out Angie and Hazel out here. Shout out everybody in these comments right now. Let me get over here and see who's in here saying what up. Yo, NHO Bravo in the building. Yo, Peace Damn Voices in the building. What's good, y'all? Hit that like, hit that share. Welcome to the show. We got a good one for you today. We'll be talking talking some Black King. We're going to be talking some Meek Mill. We're going to talk about some Simpsons. We're going to talk about some Kodak Black. We're going to talk about NBA Youngboy. We're going to talk about some fentanyl. And we're talking about Squid Game right now. And Squid Game, if y'all watched it, did y'all like the ending? Did you like the ending, Black?
I thought it was cheese, but I understood it because it's a Korean film. It's not American.
Really? So, yeah, it's crazy. I'm on episode 2, season 1. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't want to spoil it for you, Dan.
No, it's fucking dope. It's good. And like I said, if you really about that squid life, you could turn on subtitles and listen to it in Korean and still enjoy it.
Why? Just watch it.
Yeah, and read the subtitles. I mean, it's okay. The voiceovers can be pretty cringe sometimes. Because like I said, Koreans tend to overact. That's like the Korean style. They overact. Yeah. So a lot of times their facial expressions don't sync up with what the words are.
I honestly, bro, I didn't mind it. And I usually do mind that type of stuff in that particular show because, you know, it's pretty action driven. You know what I mean? And there's always something going on. And the stories that they're telling and all that, it's just interesting that way. You know what I mean? And so, the way everything kind of connects.
So I was right.
What did you say? I'm sorry. You told me to watch it. So
okay. Yeah, and I was right.
Red light, green light was crazy. Yes, it was.
What an intro to the games, right? Not explaining shit, just putting you out there, and then shit just pops off, and you're like, what?
Big facts. Big facts.
And then when the show does a whole pivot, like an episode later, it's like, wait, hold up. They doing this, but then they just let, you know what I mean? People do what they do and then decide if they want to come back. Crazy.
Yeah. So no, that was a good one. Would you watch a season 2 of that?
Of course, I'm on that, bro. I can't wait.
I think the only reason why they ended it like that was for a season 2.
Of course.
You know, and that's what.
But it's kind of like Saw in that respect, though. Like now that the twist is kind of gone, where do they take it? You know what I mean? You can focus on the games and the gruesomeness, which is what Saw did. But the first movie does not like it because the twist at the end is like, oh, that's crazy. The killer's in the room. You know what I'm saying? So the twist is gone. Now what do you do?
Yeah. Every time I think of Saw, I think about Scary Movie and how it was Shaq in the room, and then he heard something move, and he's like, Kobe? R.I.P. Kobe, man. So I'm scrolling down my feed on my social media, and I come across this dude named Dash Burnett. Y'all might know him. And he got signed, bro. He got signed to Bentley Records. What's that all about?
You see that shit?
You see that?
I had to post it, bro, because I was like, for some reason, I seen like 3 or 4 posts this past few days about people getting signed to Bentley Records. So if you look at my post, it's back from 2018, and I was just like, y'all gotta stop, cut it out, cut it. These niggas is not valid. Please cut it out. Y'all look crazy out here. Don't be. Stop capping. Stop capping. I got offered that deal 4 years ago. I'm also on a mixtape with Sheik Luch and Big Daddy Kane. So on SoundCloud only though.
Yo, Damn Voice, you got some new music out here. Yeah, I always know when Damn Voice got new music because Damn Voice starts making it known because he starts visiting all the media platforms. He starts saying what's up to everybody. I start getting DMs and stuff. Sure. Damn Voice, put the link to your new joint in the comments, bro. I know that's what you want to do. Do that. I know.
But no, I had to post my record deal because Black King came out.
I heard. I played the lotto that day. I was like, yo, today might be one of them days.
All right.
Good job.
The hate is real.
Bravo, he should feel honored. I ain't going front, man. And I'm not saying this in a bad way. He should feel honored that he was on this project, man, because you usually have a healthy amount of features on your joints. And on this one, you really didn't go down that route. And the few that you have, and I'm happy that he was one of them. You know, him, Ice the God, and Remy Hendrix, who doesn't tap into the show no more. I don't know if you know what's going on with that. I don't know where casting at.
They doing stuff.
They're doing stuff. Yeah, doing stuff, not tapping into the show is what they're doing. Yeah, NHO Bravo, man. You were asking me about who I thought had the flyest line in the joint, and I really couldn't decide. But I will tell you, where you start saying you're gonna smack the shit out of the people they scared of, that you had me right there. I was like, that's what's up. And Ice the God telling everybody, talking about they having hissy fit when he step up, and I like that he took a shot back at people, because I don't know, do y'all know where his line is coming from? Do you know why he said I spit the same rhyme 10 times and it's still doper than yours? Do you know why he's saying that? Or no?
Are you waiting for the comments to like tell you yeah? Like just tell the story.
Anyway. Nah, he's saying that because he had went on like a media run like a little less than a year ago, and he came to my show. He went everywhere, you know what I mean? And everywhere he went, every event that he showed up at, he had this one rhyme that was spit at every place he went to. He just took this one rhyme and spit it everywhere, right? Mm-hmm. It's cool. Do what you want. It's your own verse. You can spit it how many times you want. So I saw him get into a banter online, and these dudes were getting at him like, yo, you keep spitting the same shit. You ain't got no rhymes, da, 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 da. And his point was, nah, I'm on a media run and I'm spitting the same shit. Like, I'm ready to go. You know what I mean? And I was like what he was saying, and I understood what the other side was saying. So I kind of fell on the fence. Like, I'm like, if you're an MC, you know, you probably got, 20 rhymes in the book, like that's just for nothing, just sitting there chilling, just waiting. You know what I mean? So you could spit a different verse when you go different places, but but then you start giving up everything, though, too, at the same time. Like he must have stopped at like 6, 7, 8 different places. You know what I mean? So like, had he spit different rhymes for each one, you know, then when he spits one of those on a song later, now he's getting more flack for that. So I kind of understood why he was just spitting the same rhyme over and over. But that's where that line comes from that joint right there. YouTube with, oh yeah, we did that. You tuned in and locked in, Cass. What's good? What's good? We got Dan Boy still in the building. What's going on, sir? He's just working hard. He's doing music. It's at me, bro. Yeah. Yeah, so salute to you guys, man. Really appreciated that. I like that 4-piece swing. I thought it was dope. I wish it went down the way it was supposed to, but that's another story for another day. So other than that, sir, we're going to talk a little bit more about Black King during our review. We'll get into that a little earlier tonight. I did want to speak to you about Meek Mill, because we were talking about record deals and people getting on, and you seen Meek Mill's claiming that he ain't getting paid for his views or his album or none of his work right now. You heard about that? You did not? Yeah. No, Meek Mill's out here saying that he ain't seeing no dollars come into his account in any way, shape, or form.
I mean, he's exaggerating, but yeah, he not.
You know? And he like went on a rampage talking about, you know, I could stack up almost exactly how much money they've had to put into me to get out the music that I put out, and then I could show you how much money we've generated from those songs that we put out, you know? So like he's got the numbers. I don't know if they're correct or not, because I don't know, but like he seems to be about his business, and I think it's insane that artist of his stature and relevance is dealing with this sort of stuff, man. Like, what's your takeaway from something like that?
This is like a football player wanting to renegotiate their contract.
Okay.
You notice that young artists don't have this problem? This is an old nigga problem now. This is no longer an industry problem, because you don't need a deal. Period. Here's what a deal used to get you: the keys to the gate, promotion, and some stunt money. Here's how a record deal was supposed to work. Let's take it back before hip-hop became hip-hop. Let's go back in the day. Here's the purpose of a record deal, meaning the money they give you, the advance. Hey, you have talent. You should quit your job and spend the next 6 months in the studio making an album. And while you're doing that, here's a lot of money. That way you don't need a job, so you can just focus on music. So we're giving you essentially a salary, right? But it's recoupable, right? Because we're a business trying to make money. And if you do good enough, you'll get some of that profit. But essentially, you're a contractor making music until the contract's over. So if you don't know what being a contractor is, a 1099 is, go do your research. Make sense? So you're a contractor, because labels don't give you healthcare. You were 1099, you were independent contractor, you have a contract to do a certain amount of work. They give you money up front every time you're about to go into the studio to produce that work, to cover your cost of living while you produce the work for them. The work that you give them, it is their right to exploit it. That's why they gave you the money to make it, right? So imagine a painter painting a picture and then saying, okay, I painted this picture that you paid me for, but I'd also like that every time you charge a ticket to your museum to come see it, to get half of that money. The curator would laugh at him like, no, nigga, you painted it. We commissioned it. We paid you for it. We will give you PC, appointed to on the back end as a make good, right? To acknowledge the fact that, yeah, you created this. But we already paid for the work. That is how record deals work. And back in the 40s and the 50s, this made a lot of sense, right? Times is hard. Here's some money, you know, because listen, the old artists used to be working like during the day. They'd be bagging groceries during the day, recording at night. And that became untenable because the artists would be burnt out. So they started giving advances so you can focus on making the music. And that's been the structure of a record deal for a long, long, long time. People would take it because that was the only way to get heard, to get famous. Here in the 2000s, being famous is the famousness of itself. What do you mean by that, Black? People famous for being famous. People are not famous for having talent anymore. People are famous for being famous. You could say Kim Kardashian got famous off a mixtape. I mean, of a sex tape, but she did. But why is her family famous? For the sake of being famous. Why is an influencer famous? For the sake of being famous. What is an Instagram model? Everybody who uses Instagram. Like, think about what I'm saying. All of y'all are Instagram models. I'm an Instagram model. We take photos and post them on the gram. That's the entire medium, right? You get famous if you cuter than me, I guess. Cool. You don't need a label to put you out because YouTube and the internet exist and social media exist, right? People still take the deal because it's more money than they've ever had up front, right? Right? Cool. Young artists don't do this no more. They don't. They go get with local whoever, right? And they put their little bread together, whatever, right? And they promo their shit and they buy their buzz and they do what they do and they get fake numbers and all that until people jump on the bandwagon, right? And then they go sign partnerships, distribution deal with majors, right? That's why everybody got a label now. Everybody has a label. It used to be like when Diddy got Bad Boy, that meant something. Like, nigga had to give you an imprint. You couldn't bring your trash label to the table. Nobody cared. You know what I'm saying? So everybody got a label. Everybody got an LLC. And the majors give you distribution in a wider reach if you want to do that. So you're basically using their marketing arm, right? Taking less money from them so that you can make more money off of the things that you create. That is how record deals work now. Meek Mill is an old nigga. His record deal is 12 years ago. And like most people from that time, he signed to a nigga that signed to a nigga that signed to a nigga that signed to an umbrella label. And that's his problem. The same problem Drake had, the same problem Nicki has right now, same problem Lil Wayne has. This is an old nigga problem. These young kids don't got this problem no more. You signed to a bigger artist who is signed to a label who is actually signed to a major who's owned by either Universal, right? Warner, and what's the other conglomerate? Island Music Group. Them motherfuckers. That's it. It's only 3 labels.
Because everywhere else they're like an umbrella. They're like the big umbrellas.
But they're all the same fucking label. There's only 3 labels. So they'll give you $250,000. You're gonna make an album for 3 months, and then you put it out and you get 2 points in the back end because you've already been paid for your work. You're supposed to take celebrity and go profit off of that.
But let me ask you this. Does that hey Angie, she's in the building right now. Make sure you're hitting that like, hit that share. We up in here today is what we talking about the podcast every Tuesday, 7 p.m. talking about Meek Mill not getting paid on his contract. Now, you say the young boys don't have this problem right now.
Nope.
Is it because they don't know better to say what Meek is saying right now?
No, the young boys don't have this problem because they don't have this problem. Go look at their releases. They are released under their own LLC. The game has changed, right? And kids grew up on the internet now, and the generations are different, and they understand this. You feel me? It ain't because they don't know. They know better because all you hear is old niggas complaining about their deals. Now, you can say, yo, is it right for somebody to profit off of work? And I'm telling you again, when you're a contractor, abso-fucking-lutely. When you do work for hire, that's it. If you create bathrooms and you make my bathroom and I pay you for it, you're not getting PC every time somebody comes in my bathroom and takes a shit. That doesn't make any sense. That's what the money's for. Go make the album and I'll give you 2 points in the back end, but you making it so that I can put it out. That's what exclusive license means. That's why they own the masters. They paid to create it.
Right. They paid to create it. But you know, in the music industry, there's supposed to be points given and all this and that, and that's where the real negotiation is supposed to come in.
But he took an advance, a large advance, so he not getting nothing. That's his fault. If you take $1 million advance on an album in 2021, you're dumb because music don't make money because streams. You get fucking 1/100000th of a penny per stream. You don't make money, so it takes you years to even get to break even.
That's what I was gonna say. So he gets the advance, and then I don't know if you would know this, but do you know like how long they give them to pay back or work back the money? Or is it vary? It probably varies.
You mean the artist?
Yeah. Like, because it's in advance. It's not like they're just giving it to them like, here you go.
It's an advance, but you are indebted until that money is recouped. Meaning, depending on your contract. So let's say you take $1 million advance and your album only made $150,000.
Right.
Technically, they can be petty and sue you and recoup the rest. Technically. A lot of times they just let you go. See what I'm saying? Because why? if it's not, if you tried and the music flopped and it didn't catch on, that's the risk the label takes, right? But they're also not putting that kind of money up front when you sign your first deal. So what ends up happening is your first deal, you get 50,000. You think that's what we talked about this a couple weeks ago. You get 50 racks and think you're winning. Your music makes $300,000-$400,000. They do that 100 times. They got a business. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. By the time you're on your 4th and 5th album, now you can say, give me $1 million, because you'll probably make $1 million or $2 million. It's calculated. They're not giving you more than they think you can recoup. You see what I'm saying? And you got to bomb really hard for them to drop you from a label, right? And there's artists that do that. And at that time, it's like, well, it's a wash, right? I'm not gonna see you over 400 grand. I could, and some people do. They just say, hey, you can't put out music until your contract's up, or if you want to put out music, pay me back the rest of the money you owe me. So that's what happens.
I didn't realize that there were times where the advances weren't recouped. What if they dumped so much into him early on and sales were never really blockbuster, and now they don't have to spend as much, so he assumes they aren't spending, so he should be getting points, but he's still paying off past expenses. That's what I'm thinking.
He gets his points, but the points are negotiated years in advance, right? I'm assuming now at this point in his career, I could be wrong, but this is me guessing. A typical deal in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, 2005, 6, 7, 8, that area. You get a 1-in-1. So if you wasn't getting a single, we talking albums, you would get a 1-in-1, right? Or they would front load you and give you this 5 with 5 option deals, right? That's what Drake got. 5 with 5 options, and it's a wash after every album if the label says so. What does that mean? Universal could have escaped from Drake's contract after every album if they wanted to, but he had a 5-album deal with 5 option renewals, and they get to say what meets the criteria for an album. Does that make sense? So if you put out some shit and they're saying, hey, God, this ain't gonna count as an album, but if you make 3 mixtapes, that's 1 album, and that'll get you out of your deal quicker, right? Then that's how you got Drake making 15 projects for fucking Cash Money. So he can get free. That's why he dropped music every single year, right? But it ends up being a 1-in-1, which is a straight up album where you probably get 20, 40, 50K, and the option to roll it over again. And that option probably lasts fucking 10 years. And that's how you get stuck in shitty deals. Or you got to front load it 5 and 5, meaning it's 5, but the label can escape after every single album. Plus they get 5 renewals, or what they call the right of first refusal, meaning we'll let you sign with another label on the 6th album, but you got to pay me a fee like $20 million to get out of this contract. Therefore, essentially, it ties your hands. So they got you for 10 projects. And that's how the contracts are pretty much working when Meek Mill got on, right? Cool. Meek Mill is signed, fuck Dream Chasers, because it doesn't matter in this conversation. When he releases music, he is signed to Maybach, right? Right? Cool. And who is the proprietor of Maybach Music?
Ross, no?
Nope. It is a joint venture between Rick Ross and Atlantic. It is not solely owned by Rick Ross, by Rick Ross, right? Who is Meek's top level publisher, distributor?
I don't know.
I believe it's Atlantic again. Quote me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong, people. I believe it's Atlantic again. Check this out. This is what you call a triple dip. You ready? Meek get $1 million advance, as an example, right? That money doesn't all come from Atlantic. Some of it comes from Ross's label, from the joint venture pot, and then some of it comes from Atlantic as the distributor of solo Meek Mill projects. I know we're getting deep, but I want to learn the game, right? Cool. So what ends up happening is Meek might have 3 points off of his deal, but those points only kick in once the advance money is recouped, right? And he has 2 separate agreements, one with Maybach, one with Atlantic. So the details of the contract could be completely different. It could be 95-5 on the Atlantic deal and 80-20 on the Maybach deal. You understand what I'm saying? As far as PC is concerned, you got to make off the biggest debt first before the smallest one get paid. What does that mean, Black? That means big company, Atlantic, they get their piece first. They get everything till they recoup their part of the advance. Then Ross and Atlantic in the joint venture, they get everything until they recoup their part. And then Meek Mill gets his points. Does that all make sense? Follow me? Cool. Meek is getting his points, right? But I bet you what he didn't do is say, I don't want no advance. I'm going to take my own money and self-fund this album. I'm going to give you the project, and I want all my money off of the album. Because he gets more money now, right, than trying to hope that his fucking album gets streams on the back end. That's how artists do it. Now, other artists have taken that risk. They've self-funded albums. DMX did it. When he went to Columbia, he self-funded his album. Other artists have done it. But if you do it, it's because you're saying, I'm going to go tour and I'm going to merch and I'm going to make all my money outside of my deal. I'm using my deal to get the push in the public, but I'm going to make my money and eat outside of my deal. Meek can do that. He's big enough to do that. So why are you complaining about a trash deal? You sign that shit and you're getting the benefit from it. All you got to do is go grind. That Meek Mill and Friends concert that he has, go grind. Charge niggas $5,000 for a verse. I mean, whatever you want to do. You can make lots of money being Meek Mill, but you're not gonna eat off a record deal when you're getting out of it what you're supposed to get out of it. And you know when you signed. It ain't even a game no more. It's not hidden. You know what you're signing up for. You want to stunt with a Maybach, you want $1 million advance. Here. It looks cool.
Until
you
now.
owe all that.
And you're crying later.
And you crying. Look at Big Sean. Put out a fire album, right? Can't win. That nigga making like $40K per album, $40K, and making Def Jam $3, $4, $5 million a pop. That's crazy. You know why? Because you took an advance, a big advance. Stop doing it. So fund your own project.
I love Rock from Rock's Kitchen out in Stony Point, New York. He comes in, and you know he got to be the old head that walks in and says what we've been saying, but he got to just say it like in nice and neat in 2 sentences. At this point, artists should do what the young cats are doing and self-fund and have their own. There isn't much need for a record label at this point. Rock came in and just hit it on the head like he's been talking with us the whole time. So salute to Rock's Kitchen out there. How you doing, man? I hope you're feeling good. No, it was interesting to see all that and how he's wilding out there, Meek Mill, that is.
Yeah, and to Bravo's point, we're gonna move off this topic. But to your point, Bravo, I don't feel bad for Meek because you understand what the money is, right? He's been in this game a dozen years. This is not hidden to him, right? So when you want a Hit Boy beat, you know it's 100 racks now. You know it, and you don't pay that. You go to the label and say, give them 100 racks, and they charge that to your PC, my nigga. You got to pay that, and you know this. Or trade off of your celebrity like a lot of artists do and just say, I'll give you a verse if you give me a beat. I don't know why niggas just ain't doing that, but you pay for producers, you pay for all them fucking ghostwriters, you pay for all the studio time, so build your own studio. Tell me how you're a professional artist. No, Gabe, real talk, I want you to answer this. How are you a professional artist, musician, a rapper, a singer, and you don't have your own studio, which is literally a fucking mic in a room with some foam in it and a computer? Right. These dummies would pay $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 in PC, right? To go to a studio instead of just having their own in their own spot, which is dumb. But they'll do it because I don't got to pay for it. I don't got to hire an engineer. When niggas would engineer for free just to engineer your album. Like, it's bad business. All I don't feel bad for no big artists because y'all know the game already. You playing yourself. You spend $1 million up front, and then you get mad when you have to pay it back.
And you know, we talk about these things, and then we talk about how there are dope artists that just don't have the platform who are just as dope, if not doper. You know, and it's like, and he's not looking at it that way. So he really should just figure out the next move for himself, man. If this is really how he feels about everything. But
he owed like 6 more albums though. He's stuck.
No, he what? How long?
He owed like 6 more albums.
Oh wow, yeah.
I got the fuckboy deal.
He needs to come up with a merch deal and do something fly like that. You know what I mean?
Or don't. Stop complaining about the $500K you can make and go do a tour every year. And you make 10 million. Shut up about the little money.
Yep.
That's what Drake did. Drake shut up and just did tours and ate. Drake shut up. Drake put out 15 projects, y'all. He just shut up and put out the music and got out of the deal.
And Drake is doing very well, man. To the point where, yo, my guy dumped about from all estimates. I'm not in his pockets. I'm not in the accounting firm. From all estimates, he put about $700,000 into this whole battle rap card that's going down on Saturday, bro. You know what I'm saying? And it's just because he loves battle rap. You know what I
Sure.
mean? So like here you got Meek Mill bitching about stream money and all this other shit, right? And you got Drake on the other side doing all the shit he loves, giving back to the culture. Like to me, that's a boss move what he's doing with that battle rap card. He don't got to do that. Somebody of his stature, the most known rapper right now in the world, and he's the one shedding light on battle rap right now. Like that's super dope to me. You know what I'm saying? And here's Meek Mill, who comes from battle rap. You know what I'm saying? And totally disconnected himself from it, bitching about this little money.
I mean, 1 million streams makes you $4,600. 1 million streams makes you $4,600. The fuck is we complaining for?
A lot of people, you know, there's some people out here making that in a month.
When you get a $1 million advance, though, you complaining about paying that? I mean, that's what you complaining about?
Egg crates and sponges. Yeah, you could do it budget low too, but they ain't even got to do that. They got Amazon Prime just like that. If I really wanted to, I could have those foam squares in my house 2 days from now, right now.
You could build a studio for $1,500.
You know what I'm saying?
Soundproof room, and that's it.
So I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyway, so people do weird things. People do weird things, bro. Old story kind of resurfaced. So I wanted to circle back and talk about it with y'all on here. Yo, this whole thing with Kodak Black grabbing his mom's booty is a little next level. Yo, what's good? Chris Rodriguez in the studio with the Rec Boys every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Check them out on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, or all three. Check in on all three. Hit that like, hit that share. In the studio with the Rec Boys, 7 p.m. Wednesday.
And go stream Black King so I can get my money. I need my 4,500. Black King, all streaming platforms. King Black out, yours truly.
Black King is available everywhere. I get it on Apple Music. I downloaded it there. I could probably go purchase it on the iTunes joint.
Only $6 in iTunes. I'm not even look. I'm a cheap date. I'm not gonna do you like these other unsigned niggas for $9.99 with they trash albums. $6. Just go run it.
That's what's up, man. So yeah, go run up that Black King. We got a lot of people in here today. So if you've never heard of Blackout's music, and you want to start somewhere, start right here. Start on Black King. Here's some bars, here's some beats, all that good stuff. But yo, why Kodak Black coming out here? And it's not the fact that he grabbed his mom's booty for me now. Now it's about the defense that he went into. It's more about that part. You see his explanation of all this?
Nah.
He loves his mama. That's his queen. So he treats her like his girl, and he'll grab her any old way because he loves her, and he will bow down and kiss her feet. And if it means being being excited when you see your mom and slapping her ass, then so be it.
That's how they show love. That's how they show love.
I've never touched my mom's booty.
But yo, white people kiss. I'm not being funny. They kiss people in the fucking mouth. Like they kissing sons and mamas just fucking they mouth touching for 10 seconds. Like, what you want me to say? Like, people give and show love different ways. I mean, whatever.
Yep. Yo, Black. I think people been listening to the album, bro. In the comments, I got song titles being out here. I got my copy being written out here, bro.
I appreciate that because respectfully, and matter of fact, not even respectfully, disrespectfully, it's the most complete album that came from this area all fucking year, bar none. And if you think it's not, it's because you're a hater. It is the most complete album that came from this area, bar none. There's something for everybody. There's layers to it. There's levels to it. All the beats is fire. It makes sense. It sound good. It ride good. All that. And I'm not even capping.
I just think it's super dope that the audience that we rock with, our core audience, right? However many that is, they really in here, bro, and they really paying attention and they really rocking. You know what I mean? They tuning into the show, so they doing everything I could ask for.
But they don't want to hear that though. I run up everybody album. I listened to some Meaty Bone shit the other day. I listened to No Equal Uday shit the other day. Like when niggas put out projects, I listen and I tap in with them. I let them know what the vibes is like. That's me. You know what I mean? The crazy part is I've got 80 fucking texts on my phone. Yo, this shit is crack. I got like 5 posts in public. That's weird to me. I mean, I've been telling niggas like, yo, why you texting me and not posting that? But y'all go out there and share some bullshit in heart because that's your man's and you with him every single day and you don't want to hurt his feelings. But my phone is blowing the fuck up. Like, yo, the progress in this is crazy. Nah, it ain't a big statement, Shad. It's truth. It's a fact. And if you think my album ain't the most complete album from the area, it's because you cap. And I'm not saying nobody trash either. Think about what I'm saying. I know I put together an album, not random songs, not trash hooks, not the same concept, not suck my dick every track. I know I put together a complete album with something for everybody. I know I did that. That's a whole fact. Once again, though, 80 motherfuckers in my phone texting me, 5 on social media posting that. That's weird to me. That's weird energy. Keep that same. That's all I'm saying. Put it out there to your mans. Let them know what the fuck it is. That's weird to me. But niggas know what type of time I'm on. People, they talk that talk and you talk that talk. You listen to what the fuck I put out there. There's so much more to it. The 12th time you heard it, you'll catch it. I know what the fuck I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. And it's good work.
Where that suck my dick track, Matt Santoro wants to know. Yo, shout out Matt Santoro. He up in here, the Token Hour podcast. Basically, you're checking that out on all streaming platforms. That would be the Token Hour podcast. Sports, culture, and much more with those dudes. Always fun. So back to Kodak Black, man. Let me put this back up here because he said it. My man Rock said it best. He was like, yo, he didn't just slap her ass. He was grabbing the yeeks. Like, he was up in the yeeks, bro, on his mom. Cause, like, listen, I've said it for a while now, and I'm just gonna stand on this. Kodak Black is a dude, bro. Bar none. That's all I'm gonna say. That man is weird. He grew up weird, he acts weird, he talks weird, he dresses weird, he raps weird. Everything about the dude is weird to me. And now he's grabbing Mom Duke's yeeks. Yeah. That solidifies it for me. That's my take on Kodak Black and grabbing his mom's cheeks. What do you think?
That's it. I don't really have an opinion. I kind of said it already. I think it's sus. Right. But people share love in different ways. And that's my Haitian brother. So I'm surprised. I'm happy that he won. He won it. He won in life. And he's not the best artist of all time, but he's out here winning. He made this song Before I Go, which I think is super fucking catchy and dope. If you don't know that song, go look it up. Kodak Black Before I Go. I think it's fucking catchy as hell. He not my cup of tea 9 times out of 10, but he winning and he living his life and he eating off of that and he being successful, and I'm happy for him. Hey, Shad, it's a big statement. But Shad, am I wrong? Tell me I'm wrong, bro. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead, Gabe.
I just said it's a big statement. Get at him, Shad. Yo, Shad in the studio with the Rec Boys. Remember, tomorrow, 7 p.m. Catch them on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube.
I just want somebody to tell me my shit is garbage or something. Like, don't tell me it's fine if you don't like it. Say it's ass.
Shout outs about how the music's good. That's what they do, Blackout. They hate public acknowledgement until you're popular. He said this year, I think that's a valid statement. I took this year off. Go, Bravo! Yo,
I appreciate that, bruv. But I'm gonna tell you right here, Brody, if you put out your project this year, my shit would be better. That's how I feel every single day and twice on Sunday. And that's, like I said, bar none. My fucking brother Remy, I tell him the same shit. He better drop his shit next week. Shout out to my brother. Go run his shit up when he drop it. And I tell him the same thing when I listen to his tracks. Yeah, my shit better than yours. It may not be. He may think it's, you know what I mean? He may think my shit is ass, but so be it. That's how I fucking feel. That's how I'm supposed to feel. I'm not disrespecting nobody. It's how I feel.
No. And you should feel like that. Absolutely. That's why I like Brob so much, because he stands on that, man. I love that. So shout out here. Make sure you're checking in with him tomorrow on his show, 7 p.m. Facebook, in the studio with the Rec Boys. You tagged me, so I didn't know I was supposed to share it, but I will 100% share it. Matter of fact, I do a little podcast with my cousin, and I have you as the opening song of the show. How you like that?
I appreciate that, Rock. Nah, you don't gotta share, G. If that's what you want to do, by all means. But I wasn't saying it that way. But I appreciate you, brother, because when you tap in, I typically get feedback from you, and that's dope. And you are a sharer and a supporter, and that goes a long way. So it's much appreciated. But you don't gotta do nothing, bro. Only do what the fuck you want to do. If you put the stamp on it, that means a lot.
Hey, I got a valid sus for you. This whole thing, bro, with the Simpsons having predicted like 7 or 8 different things that have happened in real life. And now they've correctly depicted what Jay-Z would look like in 2021, way back in like 1999. Valid or sus, the Simpsons predictions?
Valid,
right?
But because they've been on for 30 years, one. The hairstyle that Jay-Z has is literally the Simpsons hairstyle for most of their characters. So like people OD with it. Donald Trump in the 80s and in the 90s was looked at, even though he got all his daddy's money, as somebody who was being successful. He wasn't a meme yet. So it makes sense for him to potentially be the president of the US one day back in the 80s and 90s. Like a lot of the shit they predicting just made sense at the time. You understand? And when you talk about everything going on in the world and you've got 50,000 episodes, yeah, bro, you're going to talk about some shit that's popping off. Of course.
You're going to land on one every once in a while?
Of course.
With all the hypotheticals that they come, because they predicted some sports stuff too. You know, so like, I don't know. I think it's valid too, bro. I think it's valid too. And I do think that if you sit in there and you're conjuring up all types of different stories and narratives, and eventually you're going to touch on one that's going to be eerily similar to the reality that happens in the future. You know what I mean?
So Rock is pointing out the escalator. But Rock, when the Simpsons first started, depicting Donald Trump on the escalator does not seem far-fetched. People are on escalators. So you're that's like saying, oh, they really had Trump walking down the street, bobbing his head back and forth. At some point, he's going to do that in his life, right? And catch it on film. It's inevitable. It's not like this freaky prediction. It's like showing a celebrity going down the escalator. Guess what? Probably gonna happen once or twice. Have you rode an escalator? You know what I mean? Like, but I do get it. I get why people poke at it. So I'm not mad at it.
So Black, there's people, you know, who obviously have their own platforms that are here, and we really appreciate them when they're here. The question's coming up. I wanted to ask you, when it comes to flagging a show, or like, you know how like some Facebook things get shut down because they're playing music that's copywritten and all that, like with your music and this album in particular, if somebody were to play it, is there flags that get put on?
If you played in the wrong area, you had to get flagged. So just don't play in the wrong areas. And if you want to know what those look like, go find out. Go test some shit.
So is it something that would come to you and you would have to deny it?
When you are releasing your music, there are options to pay or whatever you want to call it to have content strikes. And I don't mean content. It's more like there are services out there that crawl the internet and they crawl YouTube and shit like that. Vimeo and all that to look for your music, your encoded sound files. And if they find it, you have the right, if you want to have them strike it and flag it and get it pulled. Or you can have them let it play, but monetization wise, it goes to you. And they let you set up your account and it'll just route all the funds to you.
In real time, you get that notification?
Yeah.
In real time. So you'll be on your phone, you'll get a notification.
I won't say it like it depends on, because Gabe, these are bots. These are not like, you don't get your own individual bot that's out there crawling all the internet at the same exact time. It's a bot, right? So if the bots are doing its weekly scans on YouTube and comes across some content with, you know, that has your shit in there and code it, then you'll get the notification when it's doing the scan. It's not the minute you play, it'll go off. Now, streaming, you know, Google has a lot of bots and a lot of manpower. And I'm sure that high priority things get flagged very quickly. Meaning if you drop a brand new movie, right? I bet you if you play some cutscenes from that before the movie is released, it's going to get pulled down damn near within minutes because they're actively looking for it. But if you posted Child's Play from 1986, it's going to take a week or two for them to find it because they're not actively looking for it. Right. See what I mean?
Yeah. I do. You seen Young Boy is out now, but they cost him 1.5 mil on bail to come home.
Yeah, it cost his label.
Yeah, it cost his label. Yeah, I was gonna say his label. Yeah, he didn't pay it. So, and it's all just. Did I read that right? That was when they were at a video shoot and they got raided basically at the video shoot, and everybody got caught up with guns and shit. That's that story, right? So it's been a little bit since he was in there for a little while, no?
A couple months, yeah.
Oh, okay, just a couple months. I thought it was longer than that, like this year type of shit. But all right, so Young Boy and all these guns and stuff, and this is just another story. I only bring this up to say this is just another story on why we need to make sure that us veterans of this play we live called life, you know, disseminate information to the youth, man, and like. You know, why are you going to have a bunch of unregistered guns around you and you are reaching a certain hiatus you know, with your, not haters, you're reaching a certain status, you know, with your career and stuff. Why are you jeopardizing that with unregistered firearms and this and that when you could have people that have it perfectly registered? You can have all the protection around you need. You know what I mean? Like, having the gun to be cool, that should be already played out mad long ago. So this is just my call out to all the old heads and the people that know better, to make sure you keep saying these things to the youth. Like, they don't need all this firearms and stuff to be safe. Just walk a path that is not even righteous, that is morally good in some way. You know, do good for yourself. Want better for yourself out there. You know what I mean? And stop getting caught up in this shit, man. For this kid to get caught up in that, like, it's just stupid. Like, you're supposed to be out here making dumb music. I don't even like your raps. You know what I'm saying? But you can make money off it. People dig you. You know what I mean? So why are you putting yourself in these positions? It's so ill to me how a lot of these artists, and it's not just rappers, let's not, you know, but the ones that are in my face are the rappers that, you know, you got a little fame, you found a way to make money, and you ain't got a 9 to 5. You don't really have like a boss like that. You don't know what it's like to have to get in your car every day and drive to a motherfucking spot and put in work for somebody else and shit. You know what I mean? You doing it with something that you're supposedly loving. Like, why are you putting that in any type of jeopardy, man? That's just always been crazy to me. And I always say it, bro, do better, man. Do better. You got labels bailing you out for 1.5 million because they believe in you and they see something in you.
He's a cash cow, bro.
Huh?
He's a cash cow.
Yeah,
Yeah, like Brav was saying, like, he's trash as an artist, but he's a fucking cash cow. These these 20 under kids, they fucking love this dude. They love this dude. So, like, yeah, he's a cash cow. He'll make all that back in a year. That's crazy.
That's the crazy. You know what I mean? And to have that kind of that type of net that you could just cast out and pull in dough like that, man. Like, that is so valuable, man. Like, I wish we could illustrate that to these dudes and for them to understand the position that they're in and really take advantage of it. You know what I mean? They don't understand that when you're getting, when they doing a sweep at a video and you're getting caught up in all the nonsense there, that's ridiculous to me. I could totally see if, you know, they were like, yo, young boy's whole entourage got taken away and they're all fucked up. They're all in trouble now. But he's chilling. That I would understand. And people would probably be like, oh, he's fucked up. He let his boys get in trouble. Nah, those knuckleheads decided to bring guns and bullshit to the fucking set. You know what I mean? Like, that's their problem. I personally would not do that. You know what I'm saying? You would not do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Do things the right way. Do better, please. Thank you very much. That's all I gotta say about that. And can we stop with the fentanyl? Stop killing people. Stop killing people with fentanyl. Whoever want to hear this, whoever knows a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy, tell them to stop with the whole fentanyl thing, man.
Legalize weed, man, everywhere, federally, and be done with it. Just do it and be done with it.
Yeah, do it and be done with it.
Because a lot of the other drug use will go down. Yeah,
man. This shit is crazy, man. You saw that. The reason why I bring this up is because they just convicted the dude who was a Mac Miller's dealer and found him guilty of actually adding fentanyl to his drugs and shit. And they found him guilty on that. And that's why I'm bringing this up right now, man. You know, Mac Miller wasn't even my cup of tea. I dug him. I thought that, you know, I saw why people would be fucking with him and you know, the depth of his raps and things that he would say and how he chose to go about it and express himself. I thought that was all cool. It just wasn't for me. He's gone, and, you know, everybody has their addictions and shit, but they, you know, what killed him was fentanyl. And can we just stop? Can we just stop? Is it a population control? Is that why we're not stopping it? You know what I mean? Like, shit is crazy. So please, let's do a little bit better with that. So now we have arrived, my friend. We do a thing called Tape Deck Project Review, tape review, right? Tape Deck Project Review. So this week there was this album that came out. I believe it dropped on Thursday. You might be familiar. It was called Black King. King Blackout was the artist. And oh, look at this. It's the same Blackout that we have on our very show right now. Look at that. How are you, sir? How are you? So it's going to be
Chilling.
a little different this time. We typically do, production, execution, structure, and content, least and most favorite, and if we're going to run it back. Now, if I say what I think to y'all are just going to think I'm captain because it's me and my homie. So I'm really not going to have an opinion for y'all. I will give it to you, but it's going to be more about me asking Black about this project so he could break it down a little bit for us. So with that said, sir, production-wise on this album, I have to tell you, I did appreciate it. I did like it. I enjoyed it very much so. Who
Glad to
had
hear
the
it.
most to do with this particular production?
I don't know what that means. Everybody that I had on it and myself. So me.
I'm talking about
I'm the
beat wise.
EP. I answered your question. Me. I had the most to do with every part of this album because I'm the one that put it together.
You. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I missed that part. So, did you have any co-producers on this album?
Other producers up here, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, cool. What's your deal with production wise? Like, can I tap into that? Can we tap into that without giving away the sauce?
Yeah.
What's that process kind of like for you, in the creation mode of doing like want to do a song and coming up with the beat for it and all that? Can you explain that process, like generally speaking?
I think people sometimes, so as somebody who produces and raps, when you are trying to put together your own project, I think people assume that you made all the beats the moment you rap to them, and that's not true. Like I'll make beats, or I'll start a concept in 2012 and revisit it in 2018 and add a snare, and in 2021 I'm going through my deck looking for something to give to somebody and like, this shit is fire, I should add some strings to it, and it might take me 15 years to complete a beat. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like that happens frequently. Like my catalog of production is 40,000 deep, easy, like easy, because you like it, especially when I first started producing. In the summer, I'd make 1,000 tracks. I'm not saying 1,000 good ones. I'm saying I made 1,000 beats in 2 months because I was trying to learn to hone my craft. You see what I'm saying? When you've done that over time and over time and over time, you build up a catalog. And yeah, you'll go back and revisit shit. Some shit sounds outdated, so you'll tweak it. And like, I really like that riff I did. I should probably add some more modern drums to it and a different tempo and add a swing to it to make it make sense today. You know what I mean? So like, to answer your question, when I start with a project, I tend to start going through my catalog first. My catalog, and just go through shit and play. That takes weeks sometimes for something to click with me. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's whole beats, sometimes it's snippets, sometimes it's like, I like how I took that sample and did A, B, and C, but I could probably do it differently in 2021 because it's not the same sound as 2014. So it's an amalgamation. And then also as flexible as I am as a producer, I think I'm really flexible. I think some producers sound like themselves on every track, and I don't. And that comes from playing instruments, like actually reading and writing sheet music, because I was in symphonic band and concert band and marching band for a dozen fucking years in middle school, high school, and college. I did that. I played sports and I was in the band. So like, I read and write music. I play the piano. I play the fucking drums. I play the trumpet. Like, I play these instruments. So because that's how I think, sometimes you get stuck in your own ear, and at that point it's like, I bet everything I'm making is sounding too similar because I'm in a certain mode. Let me go tap into my producer friends and get different sounds, because you have to. And a lot of times when you're putting together a project, it's like, yo, I want something different but fit this vibe. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you listen to like we talked about MEEK new album last week. I'm gonna use it as an example. Expensive Pain. The first track don't sound like any other track in that album. So you know it wasn't made congruently with the project. Does that make sense? Like Flamer Flow is an add-on at the end, and we know that. That was a freestyle I did a year ago. But the intro, Hating Me Now, that's old MEEK. You can tell. That's an old-ass MEEK deal beat he probably had for 4 or 5 years. It doesn't sound sonically like anything else in the album because it wasn't made at the same time. That's what you're trying to go for, but it not be so egregious to the ear where you can tell that it was from a different time. So that's my process when talking about beat making or producing an album. For me, it's organic, and it just starts with me going through my my catalog And then if something moves me, I'll sit down and I'll play it out, or I'll remix a beat, or I'll hear a sample and go flip that. And then when I feel like I am done, like I've done enough of this, like I don't have anything else to give right now, I go seek my producer friends.
Rocky's asking, are these all original beats on here?
Yeah, why wouldn't they be? I mean, there's samples, of course, but yeah.
Yeah, no, that's the way we make beats.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just going through. I really appreciate y'all in these comments, man. Y'all were going wild today. I missed a few comments in there, but salute to everybody out here doing their thing. We're talking about Black King, released by artist named King BLAKOUT. You might recognize the name. We're talking about the production on the album and his process in doing so, and I dig it, man. I think that's dope. It's nice, isn't it nice to know that, you know, even years ago when you sat there and you spent a whole evening or an overnight and you were making music, and you know, we've all felt that when you're in that mode, we've all felt that sense of like accomplishment when you finally, you know, take off the headphone. You're like, yo, this shit was dope tonight, and I'm gonna go to sleep, you know, smile on my face. I like what I made or whatever. It's nice to know that that time isn't even wasted because you're archiving it and then being able to come back to it. You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't be wasted even if you never made a song to it because you enjoyed that time creating that, you know? So either way, it's the win. But
hopefully
like,
you learn from it and got better. Yeah.
to come back to it though, and try to revive it and keep hitting it, I think that makes it all the worthwhile too. That makes it more like the investment in it was totally worth it that night when you did that. You know, so dope to you, man. Dope to you.
I don't think I think, at least for me, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, or anybody listening, you listen to my projects, I don't think I have bad beats. And I don't think that's an easy thing. Like, seriously, like your favorite artists be having trash in their projects. Not saying my shit is the greatest production of all time, because I don't think it is. But I also think I don't pick bad beats. Like, I don't got a trash ear.
No, you don't, because your ear is very similar to mine, bro. I'm telling you, you're on a certain frequency with your production, man, and it definitely resonates with me. And I tend to like shit. I don't know about y'all. Anyway, so then we come down to, you know, the structure and content of this particular album.
Talk about it.
And you know, obviously, I'm gonna find this more refreshing. I was talking about this a little earlier about how like I can appreciate when I could actually understand people when they rapping and hear all the words and everything's articulated the right way and, you know, emphasize and pronounce correctly. You know what I mean? I always appreciate that. And on this one with the actual content of this, one of my biggest beefs is that people don't talk about enough stuff, right? It's all the same ish all the time. I think that's all of our gripes with some music sometimes, you know. Yeah. With this album, I liked that I didn't hear like everything wasn't about how icy your wrist is or how dope your job is or like, you know, how fly your ride is or what island you went to. Like that's not the core of this. This is a very like introspective, you know, take a ride with me, let me show you what it is real quick type of journey. And I appreciated that. I did. The structure of it all is good to me because the way the album is laid out, and this is going to kind of fall into execution, but the way the whole album is kind of laid out, it makes sense. You know what I mean? You kind of, you know, from the jump, you got that intro. I like the way the intro of the beat starts. You know what I'm saying? Like that sound like caught me, and then I'm just listening to the whole shit. I like the way, I think that you put thought into where songs landed and what verses were on what song, so that, you know, there was never really a like contrarian type thing going on. There wasn't like, you know, one song is I hate you and I'll kill your mother, and then the next song is about how you're this great stand-up father. You know, it's not like that. It doesn't take you on those those drastic up and downs. You know what I mean? It's a very even keel, like, yo, just take this journey with me and peep what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciated that about the album. Conscious effort on your part, or did that just kind of happen because you knew that you had a certain theme for this?
Yo, for me, ordering a project is hard.
You
ever listen to music and be like, why is it set up this way? Like, I think we do sometimes. Like, why is the sequencing like this? Or you didn't realize you had 4 freestyles in a row, or you didn't realize that you had 8 big sucking songs in a row. Like, you couldn't let that breathe at all. For me, I struggle with placement. And I don't mean like it's hard for me. I mean like I put time and thought into why, so that you would have the journey, right? I should never hit you with a repeat of what I just hit you with. Like MEEK album does that a lot. There's new. It's like, why'd you follow it up with that? It's the same shit again and again. For me, that's a bad listen, unless that's the vibe you want. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why the Young Thug project I can't fuck with as a project. I gotta take it in singles because it's 8 of the same songs in a row before he switches up. It's a weird sequencing. So for me, I put thought into my sequencing, and content wise, it's how do I phrase this? It may seem by title that I'm trying to be cocky, and that's not what this is at all. This is it. Once again, it's multi-layer. Even the Black King motif. If you listen to the album, listen to the words, listen to the songs, even the song titles, it is that journey of what it looks like now for me as I've come to this place in my life. It's an acknowledgement of myself and where I am. I'm at an age where I could be done musically. You see what I'm saying? And this could be me kind of explaining myself and how I got here. But I wanted to like quell all that right off the bat and say, yeah, this ain't no ending, because we just having fun with this. Like we just getting started. It's super growth here. Like I sound like I'm at the place that I'm at. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And I feel like I'm coming into myself, even with King Blackout and what that means. It's not about being better than others. It's about owning who I am. Like, I'm my own thing. I sound like me. I don't sound like nobody else. I am who I am. I embrace that fully. And all that is a culmination of my life. And my life has been more than just trapping, because nobody just trapped for 20 years and then started rapping. That shit is weird to me. There's so much more to you than that.
Right.
See what I'm saying? That's the weird shit. Every rapper trapped for 20 years and then started rapping. All of y'all, everybody. I didn't.
We're gonna get to a point. So I wanted to ask you on air, the beginning song, Why Would I Stop, and then Heavy is the Crown to end it. Did you go in knowing that those were the bookends?
You getting good at this. Nah, dead ass. You getting good at this, and Cass knows this too. Heavy is the Crown. There's a different version of it, and it was actually the intro. Crazy, and Cass knows it was actually the intro.
Okay,
that's what I talk about. Organic though, like I put this together organically. The last song I made was Why Would I Stop? Crazy, huh? Last thing I made was Why Would I Stop? But Heavy as the Crown, I'll let you listen to it one day, completely different version of it, and that was the intro. And as I'm putting it together, and I'm, out of the 40 songs you make, you're starting to sequence your album and find out what fits and what doesn't make sense.
Right. You said 40?
Of course, because you make songs. At least I do. I don't just put. This is why I don't think this one's about for me. It's really a process. I don't make the first 12 songs and throw them out there. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, it's thought out. I know what I want to convey in a project. So you're sequencing and putting shit together. I take the time with him, like, yeah, this doesn't make sense, or I want to hit this differently, or it's not having the impact that I want, or the climax isn't what I want it to be, or something's missing and my story's incomplete. Like, I put thought into it. So to answer your question, the bookends of the project are some of the last things I made. And Heavy as the Crown was a different song with a different beat completely, a different theme that I flipped and turned into the outro. Because instead of me telling that story, which is what I normally would do if you're listening to my other projects, I would normally tell the story like that in the middle. I thought it was fitting to put it on the end, to explain to you why I feel the way I feel, and then to show you the king in me and where it comes from.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is not the story of Bumpy Knuckles and all this other bullshit. Like, that's not what this is. This is not Sosa reincarnated. Like, this is just a young dude who came up the way he came up and went through some shit, right? And all of that is inside of us. Like, everybody has that inside of them. You don't got to admit it. You could be cap about it and say that you woke up and you was 12 and you was selling dope
Everybody's got a story,
your principal, but like, nah, it's all cap. Like, nah, nigga, I didn't start off as La Cosa Nostra. I started off as a hungry, bummy dude who was robbing corner stores to eat and getting food stamps and flipping them shits. Like, that's what I started off as. Like, that was the first lick. It wasn't robbing somebody. Fuck, what we talking about here?
And that's gonna bring me to execution, Black, with this is that I thought the execution on this was really good. I thought that when you name something Black King and then you change your name to King Blackout, you're leaving that open for interpretation until you tell people why, right?
Sure.
So I went in, and because we're so close, you know what I mean? And I encourage all of you listening to go out, go get Black King, listen to it yourself, and develop your own, and come talk about it next week if you want. But from my point of view, I thought it was executed very well because if you're listening to it, and you're really listening to it, you're explaining basically your own level up and your own progression and what it takes to be a king as yourself, though. And
As
like
myself. I'm glad you caught that. Continue, bro. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like it's like, I don't know, how do I explain it? It's like playing checkers, bro. Like, you're calling yourself King Blackout because you got yourself to a certain point. You made it all the way across the board. King me. You know what I mean? Let's do this. You know what I mean? And so, but what I like about it, and this is I ain't gonna hold you, it's no cap. It's like, you definitely get the feeling, like, listening to it, that it's like, yo, now it's a different game. The game's not over. It's just now my rules might be a little different now.
A little different.
You know what I'm saying? My rules are different.
I appreciate you listening and actually getting the meaning in the shit.
Yeah. It's
not, that's why I do
it. Show. No, it's not like a conceited type of self-awarding type of thing. It's a level. It's your own, like, it's almost like, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but it's almost like you feel at this current time that you've set goals and shit for yourself, and you've achieved some of those goals that you set for yourself, despite the obstacles that were in the way to get there.
Sure.
That's kind of what I took. You know what I'm saying?
And trying to explain to everybody else, like, at least as a Black man, let me just sit on this one and leave the rest of it alone. Finding the king within yourself, which may sound cheesy, but it ain't. Like, explaining, like, what does success look like to you? Because to me, it's not about being Jay-Z. Like, success is look where I came from, look where I started. Like, if you know my story, that shit is different, right? Like, and I give you pieces of it, and if you put it together, if you want to, or if you don't, you can just vibe with the music. I came from shit, my nigga. Like, I came from shit. Ward of the state, no parents, no family, in the system at 6. I came from that. Like, no, that grew up in a different state from my home. No blood around me. You understand? House to house, couch to couch. 10 years old, I was really hitting licks in the corner store, selling shit on the playground, not just the kids, but to my teachers. By 12, I had a dope spot, but I was 12. Like, I talk about this in the music, like, this is real. This is not TV. It's real. At 14, I had my own house. I had 2 cars, could barely reach the fucking gas pedal until I had that growth spurt that I talk about in the song. Like, I went from 5'8" to 6'3" over a summer. You know what I'm saying? Shit changed. I went from getting robbed for my stashes to running down on niggas. That's what happened. Not because I got buff in the gym. A nigga just had a growth spurt because I was a fucking teenager. It was different. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's it. It's not cap. That's life. And recognizing the king in you and coming from that and finding your own success not just being alive is not just winning. That's part of it, right?
Right. Sure.
But thriving, and I'm thriving, and that's not me throwing it in nobody's face. It's saying you don't know what my story looked like. It's real out here. I'm thriving. I live good. I'm thriving. That's the king in me.
Right. Right. I respect it, man. I do. When it comes to execution, we got to talk about a couple things, and Rock brings it up, and we talked about this a little bit. Why did you tweak your voice throughout the project? He's
Every
asking.
song has a different vibe to me.
There you go.
So if you feel like something hit differently, then it probably hits different. There should also be, at least for me, there should be growth, right? This is not my first album, right? Like you can ask, like who makes a song like 30 plus? Like who's made that song that you know? Because I don't think nobody out here is making those songs. I don't think anybody ever talks about themselves in any kind of meanuful way. I don't. Right. It's just oodles and noodles and fucking bitches. No, why? I'm taking stock of my place and where I am, and like the fuckery of it all, and like the, you know what I'm saying? Some songs I'm trying to convey something different. Like that's what it is. So sometimes I want my voice to sound like my old voice, sitting on top of the beat slightly. Sometimes I'm not trying to do that. And I'm conveying something different. You listen to Respectfully, I'm inside the beat on purpose. It's more of a remorseful song. I'm using tonality to evoke emotion. If you want to take it, some people just hear the beat and that's all they care about. But even how I mix the record is what kind of feeling I'm trying to convey. That's why it's not a consistent mix. When I talked about Meek Mill Project, I said every track he's inside the beat, which is odd. If you listen to it, you'll notice that, like, yo, this is the weirdest Meek Mill mix ever. Because he's inside every, he's not on top of anything, and that's not the Meek voice I'm used to. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I sound how I sound in each song. Each song is made independently. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah, no, that's fine.
What I was trying to evoke in the track.
It's an answer to a question. That's good for me. Brav says when he's making project, it depends what I'm going for. Sometimes you get a few of the same vibes if you're trying to keep a story throughout a project, but it should be a consistent progression with the climax if that's the intent. Yeah, and I think that if that's the case, we're talking about a 3 to 5 song EP.
Sure.
For exactly what he's talking about. Because some of those EPs are supposed to be like a vibe. Like when Farkas dropped that four EPs, 4-song EP. You know what I mean? That had a certain feel and vibe to it. It kind of stayed in the same lane, you know what I'm saying? So, but over the life of a whole project, when you got 10 or more songs, to stay in the same shit for 5, 6 songs in a row, it's like, what is this? Why are you doing that? You know?
I'll up the ante. Even if you give me a whole album with the same vibe, why niggas? How come your whole discography sounds the same? Let's start there, because you could say, "Oh, I'm trying to fit a theme, and that's why all 80 of these songs." Okay, fine. You put out 3 mixtapes in 3 years. Why they all sound the same though? Why you don't evolve? Why you don't talk about nothing? Nothing.
Right.
And like most niggas, that ain't true. Y'all niggas don't. I keep it a beam. Niggas from my town, they talk about bitches and money and getting it out the mud and nothing. I don't know who these dudes is. Couldn't tell you their mama name, what they've been through. They graduated from high school, have no fucking idea. You don't learn nothing about nobody no more. I sold coke at 6 and I fuck bitches and I get money. No, I swear to God, you don't know your favorite rapper. You don't know that lame. He lame as fucking real life. You don't know him. That shit blows me.
Dan Voice says diamond up, meaning level up. Matt Santoro says he hopes you were dunking when you had that growth spurt.
Yeah, nah, bro. Listen, 8th or 9th grade, I went from touching bottom of the net. I was definitely dunking. I was dunking in high school, 9th grade. I played varsity as a freshman. I mean, I ain't get no burn for real, but I was definitely dunking. That's how I got on the team.
Look at you. Is that true? You freshman on the varsity team?
Yeah, freshman on the varsity. I actually played both. I played so we had a freshman team, we had a JV team, which was 9th and 10th, and then we had a varsity, which was 10th to 12. So there's overlap. But I actually, as a freshman, I played varsity. I rode the bench. I played varsity. Yeah.
Well, my claim to fame when I was a freshman is I dated a senior. Fuck with me.
There you go. I ain't get a senior to 10th grade.
Yeah,
I mean, I was different. I had to get that growth spurt. I was too short.
Listen, my G, I didn't know what to do with her, but I had her.
Bravo said when I was saying that, nigga said I was bugging. What you mean, bro? What you talking about when you were saying what?
when I was saying that. Yeah, talk about that, bro. Now I was very into more of Good Kid, Mad City. I don't know. Or am I too harsh? Rob, you just gotta tell the truth sometimes. That's it. That's all you gotta do. That's all you're responsible for. Tell your truth, and we love it. Rocky says, man, he feels you, kid. I love seeing stories like yours make it and not getting caught up in the life, but as I always say, we evolve. Love yourself and keep grinding. That's from Rock's Kitchen.
But Rock, here's the thing, bro. I did get caught up in the life. Like, no struggle, no progress. Like my homie Remy says. Nah, it's real. No, I did get caught up. I did get caught up. I got caught up bad. Like it's a fucking miracle that I pivoted. And once again, if you listen to music, you listen to my shit. I talk about the different things that pivoted me over time. You know, it wasn't just I had this epiphany, right? It's like, yo, you ever? I'm not gonna get indicted on this podcast, so I'm gonna give you a piece of it.
Right?
You ever been? Not saying you have, but I'm putting it like this. You ever been to prison and the nigga that's in prison that bullies everybody else sees you, and instead of bullying you because you small and frail and you ain't nothing, he wings you and says, the fuck is you doing in here? I'm gonna hold you down so you can do your time, like, you know what I mean, without the grief. But you owe me going to school every day and getting your GED. Like that ever happened? That shit is rare. You know what I mean? But that happened to me. You see what I'm saying? My PO quit his job to be my guided ad litem. If you don't know what that is, go look it up. Because he believed in me so much. He was like, the only way I could help you the way I want to is to not be involved in your case in this way. He quit his job. This is a stranger to me. This is real. This is real talk. A stranger to me who quit his job so he can mentor me in the way that he wanted to, so that I wouldn't keep being the shit I was in, because he knew I had the ability to do more. Not because that's some tagline from NBC or something like that, but because look, I've always been smart, always had a brain. I never did homework a day in my life in grade school, not once. Kindergarten to 12th grade, and I made straight A's because I aced everything else. I would take zeros in homework and still make 90s. Dead ass. Never fucking did homework. AP honor class, this, that, and the third. Never did homework because it came easy. Like that was my story. The nigga I was hustling with outside told me, like you heard it, and Heavy is the Crown. Fuck is you out here for? Like, if you want to keep getting money, then let's keep getting money. But you should take what God has gave you and use that. I don't believe in chance. I find it very interesting that these people who wouldn't normally take this kind of interest, and somebody like me was doing that. And it was so many of them. It was consistent. If you don't take heed to that, then you're playing yourself. So yeah, I got caught up, but it took a village to turn me this way. And then I made better choices. But it took time.
I think that's what he's saying, though. I think he's saying the fact that you were in part of that and you did have that pivot. I think that's what he's really referring to, is the pivot. Not that you didn't get caught up. You know what I'm saying?
That I didn't live into it. And yeah, I feel you.
And it doesn't affect you today. Like it affects you in a positive way actually today, because you're able to draw on that experience and know better. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and he's saying it right here. Here you go.
I got you. Go.
But you didn't stay there. I was there too, but you got out. You know what I'm saying? That's what I figured he said.
Through God's grace, though, not because I'm special. And that's what I want to point out. Not because I'm special. God's grace. Don't ask me why. He favored me. That's what I mean by that.
I got caught out there by a narco that ended up letting me go and stayed in my life. I asked why he did what he did, and he said because he knew I had more to offer than a street dude.
Facts.
There you go. So yeah, it does happen. Look, we got two of them right here with this podcast. Rock's Kitchen out in Stony Point and King Black out himself talking about it. So execution wise, I thought you did well. Content structure, we talked about that. Production, it comes down to least and most favorite, my friend. What was your favorite track? What was your favorite track to make on this one? Like what track? Let me ask you this. You said 40 tracks, okay?
Probably,
what track did you look at and go, that's obviously on this?
All the ones that made
it. Don't be a jerk.
but I'm not. Like, for instance, okay, here's something that I've done before, and I ain't gonna be able to tell until you tell. I took a very popular song. I took every single word that artist said and said them. I made a beat that was in the same time had the same swing, had the same drums, different strings. That way you would get the same exact vibe. I said it the same way, and I modulated my voice to fit that artist I was mimicking. You understand? I basically copied the song. Then I played them 2 songs apart. So I played my version and said, this is me. Played another song and then played the actual artist that I mimicked. And when the artist version came on, they was sucking dick. Like, this is so fire. Then I went back and played my version again right after it. And it was like, yeah, I love this song, man. And I was like, yeah, that's me, though. That's me now. It's not the same song. Oh, yeah, you right. Oh, yeah, this is cool, too. Nah, hold up. See what I mean? Why do I bring that up?
Why?
I think Wipe Me Down is fucking hard. I think if you listen to it, that vibe is completely different. I think I flipped the hell out of it. I think so. I think the vibe is different. I think it's me showing progression and having fun with it with a track. I think it's super fucking witty. If you listen to it, I think a lot of songs in it, they're super witty. 4-piece wing, if you listen to what I'm saying, if you want to just skim it, you may not get it. But my scheme, I think, is witty. If you know what the fuck the analogies are, if you don't know, then you won't get it, right? I say it. It's where I've been grounded all my life, where that boy don't play. See, this is double meaning. Grounded as in grounded and grounded as in grounded. But see, if you don't get it, then you don't get it. It's where I've been grounded all my life. Swear the way the boy don't play. The chance of seeing me is slim, like Coi Leray. Seeing me, whether it's outside or seeing me metaphorically, seeing me is the same way. But I'm building, and I'm building 2 layers. I'm building 2 schemes at the same time on the same verse. But niggas don't get it. Chance of seeing me is slim, Coi Leray. Since rap don't pay, I can't put these straps away like a bitch fucking a bitch when they acting gay. Cause can they put the strap away? Nah, because then they not having sex. But see, we gonna leave it there like we ain't talking about nothing. Right. You can peel it apart if you want to, because it's fucking dope. Or because I didn't give you this crazy animated punchline, you don't get it. That's on you. What I'm saying is most of my shit is super witty and it's low-key witty, and I know it is. And if you choose to delve into it, you'll get the wittiness and you can appreciate what I'm bringing to the table. And that's how I feel about myself. I know my shit is witty if you want to take it there. So things I have fun with, I guess for me, the most fun was Wipe Me Down, because it was super slick without being on the nose. You have to listen to it to be like, yo, that's kind of slick. Yeah. Listen to what it is. It's like, all right, actually, that's kind of fucking slick.
I brought that song up to you earlier in the pre-show. I like that one. I want to say Matt Santoro says his favorite joints are respectfully 30 plus. Why would I stop? Hyphy and 4-piece wing. Where'd you come up with Hyphy?
Why you like that?
That's my least favorite song.
You weird. It should be though. You a dude. That's cool. Yeah. Women love it.
Hyphy. What? Tell me about that.
What you mean? I was in the strip club and was like, I need this. Okay. And they was like, you do. And I was like, bet I'm making that then. Some shit is simple, bro. It's like, I'm making that then. Like, I bet.
Okay. His least favorite is In the Face. In the Face.
So do y'all know what that song is about? Of course not.
Lighten up, brother.
Let's listen to it again.
South Crunk shit.
A little bit. That song is about. Never mind. I'll leave it alone.
I had to go back and listen to.
It's about courting an uppity bitch.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's very disrespectful if you listen to it. Like people you don't catch it. It's a story. If you look like, oh, that I didn't get that punch. Okay, to listen to gear. Even like the second verse is very understated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We went to the Met. I told her to step, like shit like that. Like it's witty if you hear it. If you know what the Met Gala is. When I told the bitch to step, she was in the show, right? I didn't tell her to leave me alone. She was in the fucking show, and this is the joint. I was just putting diamonds on her face. But if you don't get what I'm saying, then that's on you.
Exactly. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, if you don't know what I'm saying, then you don't know what I'm saying.
But I do remember. I say this all the time, Black.
Yeah,
if you got to tell me why it's dope. It might not be dope.
But what I'm saying is that I can appreciate that part. And like I said, I recognize that sometimes I go super deep with something. And I think the mistake that I do make, I don't want to say mistake, but something that I do make sometimes,
it's not a mistake. No.
I'll make something that sounds very basic, even though to me I know I'm being subversive. Means I'm being I'm being witty in a different manner. Instead of being on the nose and using these really big over the top analogies and punches, I'm actually saying it in a very smooth way. It's one of the things that I admire about Nas, because Nas can give you like one of the illest lines of all time, but he delivers it in such a way as if it was a throwaway that you don't appreciate it if you don't go back and take it in. And that's honestly, that's from him. That's his influence on how I craft songs.
Right. Yeah. Super dope. Appreciate that. So yeah, no, respectfully keep coming up. Like that's Rocky's favorite song too. That was one of the first songs that I commented and texted you about, right?
Yeah.
That's one of the first ones. So I do like respectfully. I think you got deep and introspective on that. Like I said, and I'll say it to the rest of the people, it's not easy to convey and articulate those feelings that we get when you're dealing with relationships. You know what I mean? And you were able to capture some of your own emotions very well in that song, where you can like draw the listener in and they can really understand, like, you know, the give and take, the push and pull that there always is in love. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate it. Without being corny, without just saying like you broke my heart. Like it's very, actually explaining the emotional fucking turmoil that I'm going through. Like, you know what I mean? You always check for me. You must want to check for me. You never ask. It's my mind moving recklessly. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, like is this bitch a gold digger? Like, why she fucking me the way she fucking me? Yeah, I like it, but I can't believe this shit is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, no, I think that's why it resonates with people, because, you know, like it's those things that, you know, people can really engage with because they've gone through that too. And the way that you're illustrating the emotion, you're able to consume it in a way that you're like, oh man, I know exactly what the fuck he means right there. You know what I mean? Like that I want to, but I shouldn't. I really want to, but we can't right now. You know what I'm saying? Like that, you know what I mean? Like that whole push and pull is crazy. So that might go down as one of my favorite joints. I like 4-Piece Wing just because I really enjoyed Bravo and Ice and Remy on there with you and just representing and just spitting. What was everybody spitting? 12s or something? It was like 12, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, to get your personality out there in 12 bars is not easy to do. And I felt like all 4 people, you know, gave you their personality in a short manner of time. You know what I mean? And you know exactly who Brav is now. You know exactly what Ice is about. You know what Rem's about, and you're feeling black right now. You know, you're the one that they, you know, they're going to be most familiar with on the track because they've been listening to your story for what, almost like 8 songs at that point. You know what I'm saying? So they're familiar with you and just waiting for you to spit what you want to say with these lyrical gangsters and you know, these guys. These 3 guys, like, they care about their lyrics. You know what I mean? Like, it's so refreshing, you know, that, you know, Brav, Ice, Rem, and you, like, you guys care about what you're writing down on the paper. And I just appreciate that. You know, it's like there's a few others with like Selka and Dom Gotti. Like, you guys care about what you're actually putting on the paper and saying. You know what I mean? And I think that's super dope. So kudos to you guys. Told you my least favorite, we'll just call it hyphy, you know what I mean? But all in all, would I run this project back? Absolutely. We'll run it back. I'll run this.
You just saying that because you're my homie.
I know. I'm just saying it because I'm the homie. That's why I don't want to get into how much I feel about it. But you know, I do like the project. I think it's worth running back. I definitely think if you have not listened to Blackout's music before, you could definitely start here. I think you'll like it. You'll probably want to go check some other stuff out because All Black Everything has got some bangers on it. There's some bangers on All Black Everything I still go back and play from time to time. You know what I mean? They sound real good in the car. Again, I appreciate your production because I feel like the frequency is there for me. I hope you know what I mean when I say that.
Do.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
so is this my best project that you
to date?
Yeah,
you could say that I've listened to All Black Everything so many times. You know what I mean? So that's the one that kind of resonates with me right now. This project was so anticipated by me because you dangled it in front of us for about 6 months.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, man, I think this definitely shows progression. I just like it, man. I do. I like it. It could be your best project. I could say that. It's actually better than what's the joint I'm thinking of right now? The don't say it to me, Black, because I know what it is. It'll come to me. Not All Black Everything, not the one that came out before it. That first one that I latched on to.
No
That
cosign.
joint, like that joint. I like that joint. I like that joint a lot, actually. So yeah. What's the name of that joint? You could tell me now. Keep me out
No
of suspense.
cosign.
No cosign. Yes, no cosign. That's a good one. So when y'all peep out this one, Black King, go check out No Cosign. That's one of my favorite joints. What's next, brother? What do you want to listen to next week? We got some Remy. We had a couple of releases that came out this week. What you want to do? What you want to do?
It's your run. Now I always say my bro to Remy Hendrix with the return, but we can wait on that another week and we can do something else. But it's actually your run.
You know, Wale dropped something.
I do, and like, yeah, I do. You want to do the Wale joint? Is it out yet?
It dropped the 22nd.
Okay.
There's more Griselda with Conway. He dropped on the 22nd too.
I can't with that, bro.
You know, you listened to the Young Thug joint, right, Punk?
I did.
Yeah. Don't do that. You know what? You know, Currency put out something? I didn't know that.
You still rapping? Oh, all right.
Alchemist, This Thing of Ours too. That's like an ode to hip hop, that joint. All right,
whatever you want, bro.
Huh?
That's what I was gonna tell you. Do whatever you want.
Yeah, no, yeah. Let's do the Wale. Folarin, is that what he's calling that?
Yeah,
Folarin too.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, let's do that. Wale next week,
and then we followed up with Remy, and then we followed up with Remy Black.
Damn, it's like, yo, salute to Gabe is crazy. Let's see. Gabe is crazy with the hesitation on the run back. I had to mess with him, bro. Come on, man.
I appreciate that, bro.
They just gonna say that I'm capping anyway because it's my boy, but whatever.
All I'm gonna say is that. So Brav hit me.
Mm-hmm.
I hit him back.
Mm-hmm.
Brav didn't say when we going to the stew. Brav, what's up? Listen. What happened? I thought we was doing Black and Brav.
Look at you.
I thought we was doing Black and Brav. What's up?
Oh, out here making connections. Yo, I want to say,
what's up?
Listen, I want to say thank you to everybody who tuned in. I want to say thank you to everybody who shared this podcast, who commented tonight, who's listening to Black King, who's running those Voice of the Valleys up on Finally TV YouTube page, who's tuning in to all the other podcasts and stuff like that, showing love. I really do appreciate it. We got this 845 on our back right now. There's like 6 or 7 of us holding this thing on our back right now, and we're gonna carry this into the promised land. And couldn't be happier with this team I got on this side. We strong over here. And it's because of y'all. So, tune in next week. We're going to be here 7 p.m. Tuesday. We'll listen to the Wale album in the week. Maybe y'all can listen to it too. Get your opinions. I really liked how some of y'all were in here giving your least and most favorites in the comments and all that. That's super fire to me. We were going to have a guest on tonight. People flake. You know how people are. And maybe we'll run that back next week. But Black, go ahead and take us home. Quick promo and let's get out of here.
Nah, no promo. Y'all niggas waited 16 months. Go run that Black King up. I said what I said. That shit is fucking good. If you don't believe me, go play it for yourself. If you don't like it, at least I can respect your opinion if you go run the streams up. If you don't tap in, you depriving yourself of what I think is good music. Point blank, period. So go do that.
How you gonna hate something that you ain't listened to? That's weird.
But people do that, Gabe. I tried to bro. People do that. When I give my informed opinion, when I say your shit suck, it's because I heard it.
Yeah,
you heard it. It's because
I sat there and listened to it. You know what I mean? Yo, salute to Dan Voice. Make sure you click any of those links in the comments tonight. Those are all good links. It's all good music, all good people doing their thing. So for Blackout, Angie, for Hazel, everybody out here, all of y'all supporters, peace, y'all. Love and hair grease. One.